Does today's deal leave open the possibility of the UK staying in the customs union?
Well, I think it does, and I think the ambiguity of the deal indicates that. I noticed Fintan O'Toole, the distinguished Irish commentator, saying today that Ireland had saved the UK from a hard Brexit. And indeed, this issue of regulatory alignment or non-regulatory alignment is the crucial issue, because it seems to indicate that between Ireland and Northern Ireland there will have to be regulatory alignment. If that is the case, then the single market can't be cherry-picked. Then that will have to apply to the other parts of the UK as well. And of course, we believe that would be the right thing to happen, because leaving the single market and the customs union, whatever you call it, would be pretty disastrous for the Scottish economy.
But that doesn't seem to follow what those who voted for Brexit and those pro-Brexit ministers within the cabinet want. You know, they want to extricate ourselves from the single market, from the customs union. So how do you marry those two viewpoints?
Well, they're very foolish, and that will end in tears. But Scotland didn't vote for Brexit. Scotland voted very substantially against, and the latest poll would indicate that the majority is even bigger against it than it was 18 months ago. I think that the deal, the ambiguity of the deal, is a thing that will be tested in the coming year. But I can't see this deal being effective unless it does lead to that type of single market and customs union arrangement. It may have to be called something else, but it is undoubtedly what is right, and it's undoubtedly what this deal is leading towards. Now, Theresa May specialises in saying one thing to one group of people and another to another. I think when you finally have to write down a deal, and that's what will happen in the next 12 months, as Nicola Sturgeon has pointed out, this is going to be incredibly hard. But that deal being written down will have to include membership or involvement in the single market and the customs union in a way that is meaningful. Otherwise, this deal doesn't mean anything.
Mr. Russell, given that this was meant to be the easy part, progressing to the trade portion of the negotiations, what hopes have you for the next round, given since we triggered Article 50 in March, it's taken us 9 months to get to here? Do you worry that we're running out of time?
Oh, well, it's not just running out of time. I worry about the ability of the UK to negotiate in a meaningful way. I mean, you're previously on the report of the market you had there, you showed the roller coaster ride of a single week. Business requires certainty, and it requires to know what is going to take place. That is not presently possible. People have highs and lows in this. We haven't had a group of negotiations and a group of negotiators who appear to know what they're doing. And as you say, this was the easier part. Exit had 4 or 5 issues that required to be resolved. We're now talking about many, many issues that require to be resolved. Now, the easiest way to resolve them is the single market and the customs union membership, because that is the framework into which they all fit. If UK ministers are trying to avoid that, then they're putting themselves in a position for a very, very difficult 2018, much more difficult than 2017.
Given what's happened this week, are you now, as we approach the end of Friday, more confident that the integrity of the union is now intact for real?
Well, that seems to be the obsession of the Conservatives, including the Scottish Conservative leader. That's the obsession they have. My interest is in making sure that the people of Scotland are not greatly disadvantaged by any deal and are able to enjoy the type of economic conditions which would allow them to flourish. Brexit doesn't do that. Even single market membership and customs union membership will not be the same as full membership. So we've got to fight to mitigate the harm that's being done. I'll leave it to others to be obsessed with the minutiae of the union. I want to just make sure that people of Scotland are not put in an impossible position.